Relationship advice to Gen Z from a millennial who's been there, done that. Don't do this unless you're really in the mood to get absolutely wrecked. He'll tell you he knew it was you the whole time and it was just a joke.
Beep, 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 beep. My bullcrap meter's going crazy. Beep, 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 beep.
The spring of 2022 has been very scary for stand-up comics. Dave Chappelle was attacked on stage by a man with a weapon. I mean, do we live in a time where comics can't even make jokes anymore without fear of being assaulted or killed? Yes. Yes, we do. Actress Lili Reinhart completely roasted Kim Kardashian for bragging about losing 16 pounds to be able to fit into her Marilyn Monroe dress at the Met Gala. Does she have a point, or is she being overly sensitive? We'll discuss that. Post Malone is gonna be a dad for the first time, and an equally juicy pop culture and true crime pop culture rewind. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics. An absolutely terrifying moment occurred in the middle of one of Dave Chappelle's recent shows at the Hollywood Bowl when a man armed with a replica gun that can eject a knife blade jumped on stage and tackled Chappelle in the middle of his set.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip-hop history.
After the 23-year-old attacker was apprehended, Dave shouted, "It was a trans man!" as a joke.
It was a trans man.
Clearly, Dave was trying to make light of the situation and was kidding that since the trans community hates him so much, the guy who attacked him must have been trans. Now, at the time of recording this episode, we're not actually sure if the guy was trans, but this set off the trans community on Twitter, who hate Dave even more now for making that joke. But how much you want to bet this guy's motive was because he hates Dave's jokes about the transgender community?
Isn't that a little politically incorrect?
Ever since Will Smith's assault on Chris Rock at the Oscars, what just happened to Dave Chappelle is a real fear that comics are dealing with right now. Will Smith charged a stage and hit a comedian for saying a joke he didn't like, prompting all of these woke social justice warriors on Twitter to do the same thing to any comedians who tell jokes that offend them. I mean, that's just where we're at now. If you don't like a joke, then it's justified that you should be able to hurt that person. Will Smith's impulsive, aggressive action catapulted a dangerous precedent, and I don't think comics should even perform now unless the venues agree to provide security.
Was that Will Smith?
Riverdale actress Lili Reinhart absolutely went off about Kim Kardashian telling people she starved herself for 3 weeks so she could fit into Marilyn Monroe's dress for the Met Gala.
And I had to lose 16 pounds down today to be able to fit this, but it was such a challenge. It was like a roll.
Right. Lili said, to walk on a red carpet and do an interview where you say how starving you are because you haven't eaten carbs in the last month, all to fit in an effing dress? So wrong. So effed on hundreds of levels. To openly admit to starving yourself for the sake of the Met Gala, when you know very well that millions of young men and women are looking up to you and listening to your every word, the ignorance is otherworldly disgusting.
Is the doctor around? Because we have a burn victim here.
Now, Lili has a history of struggling with her body image and has taken to Instagram stories in the past to talk about how damaging the industry and media have been for her mental health. Still, I'm seriously stunned that Lili is this offended. Like Kim said, it was almost like getting ready for a role. I don't think this should be seen as some sort of triggering statement. Or am I wrong and Lili was right?
Do I look bad in this dress?
Hell yeah, you do. Wait, let me speak your language. Cows go move.
Allegedly, in heaven, Marilyn Monroe was asked her thoughts on Kim wearing her dress, and this is what she had to say.
She's a disgrace to humanity. She is a fat and she should never even purchase them because she was unqualified. Somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful, and she's nothing like that. She's nothing of the sort.
Austin Richard Post is having a baby and it's not with you. Cry now. Post Malone is a dad. He's having his first baby with his longtime girlfriend, who no one seems to know her name. I literally couldn't find it anywhere.
What the heck?
They recently moved to Salt Lake City because Posty said LA was too unhinged and being somewhere like Utah was better for his mental health. On the announcement of his first child, he said, "I'm excited for this next chapter in my life. I'm the happiest I've ever been, and for since I could remember, I was sad. Time to take care of my body and my family and friends and spread as much love as we can every day."
Oh, yeah!
Do you think this is what the baby will look like or not? Before we jump into the pink time machine, I just want to remind you that a brand new episode of The Spillover comes out tonight at midnight Eastern, anywhere you get your podcast. This is an episode I've been hyping you up for a long time. It's one I wanted to come out right before Mother's Day because it features a guest who believes in something so completely radical when it comes to giving birth that some of you might not even believe her. Subscribe to The Spillover so you don't miss it, and don't forget that you can watch the episodes on the POPlitics YouTube channel.
I'm so sorry I'm late. I stopped at Dylan's and got some snacks because I don't know how long these things take, but when my sister had a baby, it was like hours and I was starving, so.
A lot of juicy pop culture and true crime news happened this week in pop culture history. Let's take a look with the POPculture Rewind. This week in 1999, a sponge was born! SpongeBob SquarePants premiered on Nickelodeon after the 1999 Kids' Choice Awards. Personally, my life was never the same after this.
There it is, the finest eating establishment ever established for eating. The Krusty Krab, home of the Krabby Patty, with a help wanted sign in the window.
This week in 2002, Spider-Man was released and became the fastest movie ever to earn more than $100 million at the box office, raking in $114.8 million that weekend.
That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
Actually, he did. He bought this for me on our 10-year anniversary. Not only is he my lover, he's my best friend and my soulmate.
This week in 2011, Osama bin Laden was reportedly killed by U.S. forces in Pakistan. If you have not listened to my interview on The Spillover with Robert O'Neill, the Navy SEAL who fired the kill shot and was one of the men who finally got him, stop everything and listen to that episode today. When people ask me what my favorite episodes of The Spillover have been so far, I always bring this one up. I'm guessing when you were told, "Hey, Robert, here's a fun thing. We thought maybe you could be on the team to go find Osama bin Laden." Were you just like stress-free, no panic? All right, let's do it, sure.
We're not going after bin Laden for the fame, and we're not going after bin Laden for the reward. We are going after Osama bin Laden for the single mom who dropped her kids off at elementary school on a Tuesday. And then 45 minutes later, she jumped to her death out of a skyscraper.
In 2013 this week, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus. Wait, I always say DeJesus, and then people tell me that's not her name because I can't speak Spanish. In 2013 this week, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Dina Jesus. What? I just really butchered it. But you just said I said Dina. In 2013 this week, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus. Gina DeJesus.
Great.
In 2013 this week, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus. Gosh dang it! I can't say this name! In 2013 this week, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus. I can't. I'm saying DeJesus. In 2013 this week, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina DeJesus, I'm sorry, Gina, but I cannot say your name, were rescued in Cleveland, Ohio after being held captive in a man's house for a decade after being abducted.
When I was at home, nobody really looked for me at all. Because there was a point of time when I ran away from my mother, and she didn't look then.
And Ariel Castro told you that nobody would ever look for you, nobody cared. Is that right?
Yeah, this is the phrase that he used. If I were to kill you today, nobody would look for you tomorrow.
And that's what happened this week in pop culture history. Real talk, have you ever pretended to be another girl in your boyfriend's DMs just to see what they would say? I haven't done this, but so many of my friends did when we were younger. Tap the heart or the thumbs up depending on where you watch POPlitics. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Dave Chappelle incident, and if you're a little scared to go to comedy shows right now, I saw that comedian Heather McDonald, who you know I love, she actually is inviting police officers. They can come to her shows for free just so she can have their protection, and then they get a comedy show right now. Also, is Lili Reinhart correct for her criticisms of Kim K? Or is she blowing it way out of proportion? Share this episode to your Instagram story. Make a little poll asking your followers if they've ever pretended to be another girl in their boyfriend's DMs. And make sure you hit the save button to support us in the algorithm. New episode of The Spillover comes out tonight. Don't forget, Momservatives or Momservatives to be. You will especially love this episode. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics.
Clearly, POPlitics is best served visually, but you can also listen to POPlitics if you just want the audio. Subscribe to us anywhere you get your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, and more. Also, make sure that if you are listening to the podcast version, you leave us a 5-star review. And don't forget, subscribe to POPlitics on YouTube.